Big Three, Week 4, Season 2. We're in Detroit, where the musical history from the Supremes to Stevie to the Jackson 5 to Eminem to Jay Dilla, MC Breed, and the basketball history is even just as rich. Dave DeBusschere, Dave Bing, Bob Lanier, and all the Piston bad boys. Welcome to Week 4 of the Big Three. I have unprecedented access. That's right, unprecedented access to all the players, to the layup lines, to the coaches, and who knows what. Come on, we're going to take a walk. We're going to talk to some people about Detroit basketball. When you say Detroit basketball, one of the first people that everyone thinks about is Rick Mahorn.
You smell good, Mike.
Hey, I was going to ask you, be honest with me. No, I was going to be honest with me. If I was ever interviewing you, my breath stunk. Would you say, yo, Mike, on live camera, your breath stinks?
No, I'm going like this.
Okay, all right. All right.
My breath don't stink.
All right, Detroit, what do you remember about the reaction from this city after you guys won the championship?
Oh, it's nothing but love. I mean, the city just, we embraced the city spirit, and we brought a championship here, and that was great. And hopefully I could get another championship this year from winning one with the Big Three.
Okay, now speaking of the championships and this year in the Big Three, I've heard rumors swirling that they're talking coach replacement. They're saying that the reason why you're...
Mike.
Okay, Rick Mahorn, champion bad boy. I'm here, I got unprecedented access. Rashad McCants, unprecedented access. The masked man, you guys are 0-3. You ran through the league last year, you're 0-3. What are you, Rashad McCants, the guy who wears the mask and the crown, gonna do to get your team back on track? Mr. McCants.
All we do is win, 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 no matter what. 0-3 don't mean nothing.
How bad do you want to do that Drake Shiggy dance? I saw you practicing before the game. I mean, do you want to do it?
Only if you do it with me.
No, you don't want to. You don't want to. You don't want to be on camera with me, dude. Come on, let's go. Let's go over here. We're down here. Unprecedented access. Walk with me. We're walking this way. We're walking back that way. We're going. I got to find Chauncey Billups. Come on. I have unprecedented access. One of the only people in the world who has this access. Chauncey Billups. Chauncey Billups is over there. I don't know what's going on. Chauncey Billups. When you think of Detroit basketball, Mr. Big Shot, what does it mean? What does this city mean to you?
Everything, everything. I mean, I'm from Denver, but this is like my second home. It's my home away from home. These fans, I love these fans like they love me. Some of the best years of my entire life was in this city. My dream was made in this city. 2 of them. 1, my daughter was born here. 2, I won the championship. So this city is everything to me.
Now, you were known for taking and making big shots. What do you think of the reality of the NBA ever putting a 4-point shot or a 4-point line into the game?
I don't like it. I don't like it. It's a Big Three thing. I think we need to just keep it Big Three. I don't like it for the NBA. But one, scoring is too easy right now anyway. And then guys just going to be selling 4-point shots. I don't like it.
All right. Chauncey Billups, Mr. Big Shot, unprecedented access. Good luck with the game. Jack, Detroit, one question. What does the city of Detroit basketball, as a basketball fan, mean to you?
Say that again?
Basketball, Detroit, you grew up, you're from the South, but the Pistons, the bad boys, what does it mean to you, the city of Detroit basketball, their history?
It just brings that, give you the mind of the tough-minded basketball, Isaiah, Mahorn. It just brings you back in that mind frame of when basketball was the way I like it. And, I respect all those guys. I know a lot of them, and I'm just thankful for what they've done and what they brought to the game.
All right, well, good luck. Get out there, Jack. All right, I don't know if I mentioned this, but that's unprecedented access. Brian, Jimmy, I don't know if you have it, but the stage is yours, my friends.
No, I don't think they give us that unprecedented access.
5 times, he said it.
It is the Trilogy, the defending champions taking on the Killer Threes. It's a Big Three here live on Facebook. We're in Detroit, everyone. Hello, I'm Brian Custer alongside my partner, Jim Jackson. And Jim, week 4 here of the Big Three, almost at the midpoint. And when you look at it, we've got the Killer Threes taking on Trilogy, defending champs, still have not gotten a win. And then the Killer Threes coming off a heartbreaking loss to the three-headed monster.
Well, Trilogy this close to getting that first W. Keep in mind last week when they dropped that game to Three's Company, Rashad McCants didn't play. This team is energized. They have something to play for. They're still in the hunt if they can win this game. You got to win this game and get yourself back in momentum and start to build that resume back up. And Killer Threes, Steven Jackson's playing excellent basketball. He needs someone else to continue to step up. Better world peace. Allen Henderson. I think Mike James has to play a key role because he can knock down open jump shots. So this would be an interesting and an intriguing plus physical game.
Let's take a look at the updated standings here. A crucial game for both of these guys, especially Trilogy sitting at the bottom at 0-3. They need a victory. The Killer Threes, they lost a heartbreaker thanks to Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf. They're at 1-2. They want to get to 500. And our rosters. Rick Mahorn, the original bad boy leading Trilogy. And Charles Oakley leading the Killer Threes, led by Steven Jackson. Killer Threes, they're the home squad, so they will be inbounding. Trilogy looking for their first victory as Allen Anderson drives on McCann, steps back. And Al Harrington will clear the board.
And we'll see early, let's see if Trilogy makes any adjustments offensively to get out to a better start. They've been a little bit slower out the gate, and it caused them to get behind.
Harrington follows his shot, knocks down the three.
Let's go.
The sign you want to see if your Trilogy is Al Harrington knocking down that shot. If you're Killer Threes, you don't want to see it because now you have to come out and guard him. And as we've seen in the past, he has the ability with that big body to put it on the deck and get by you.
Here's Anderson working on McCants, drives. Boy, you want to talk about physicality.
Well, I told you, this game with these guys is going to be physical. So the onus is going to be on the officials to kind of curtail a lot of that, to keep the play, to be able to be smooth. And right now, you see Ron Artest right now.
And just kick the basketball.
One tech.
You can't do that.
Did he just get kicked
What
out?
you doing, man?
Full foul.
Come on, Ron.
Ron Artest just kicked the basketball.
Just get kicked out.
See, that's how you start the game. And you know what? I'm going to give Meta a 4.5 on this kick right here. He would not be a great field goal kicker. Off the side of his foot, and Rashad McCants is like,
Team up.
team up twice.
And he's been ejected.
That shit quick.
So Meta World Peace has been ejected. World Peace has been ejected.
That was the quickest paycheck in the history of basketball right there. Come in, warm up, get kicked out.
You got any
But
gum?
because the game started, you get credited for minutes, so you play. Unbelievable.
You know that's Deion's son. That's my son.
And you know, here's the downfall. It seems with the Killer Threes. They have talent, but combustible talent.
It's our ball.
I see Chauncey trying to talk to you, the officials, but yeah, you're right. Because you have guys who are very emotional. Steven Jackson, also Meta World Peace. But you have the calmness of a Chauncey Billups, but because he's not playing. See, last year when Chauncey missed games, you can see the difference. When he came in there and kind of orchestrated everything, they were a totally different team. Yeah. See, they don't have that conductor right now that can get these emotions intact. And this is what happens. This is early in the game.
I love that Meta World Peace still had time for a selfie before he went into the locker room.
Well, I don't think he's taking it that serious. Like it was if it was an NBA game.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
NBA game, you get a little pink slip in your locker that your check got docked, been getting kicked out.
James White misses the three.
Come on, move the ball. Move the ball.
Oh!
Here's Anderson, pull up from 12, got it.
And Allen Anderson last week was in Vegas on the bench with the Memphis Grizzlies, still looking to play, but also as a precursor to his career after basketball, the coaching side. So dual benefits when he was in Vegas last week for the Summer League.
Stop bailing him out.
Harrington misses that jumper.
Roll.
And the jumper is off by Josh Powell.
Dad, get ready, Dad. Get ready.
Here's the advantage right here.
He carried the ball. He carried the ball.
Al Harrington
He carried the ball. He carried the ball.
makes his move on Josh Powell. He'll go to the line.
He
doing this? He's yelling you on the fucking ball.
I got him.
God damn.
What you want him to do? Hey, Flight, you're fading out. Yeah, you're that last one. And relax.
And I think you hit it right on the head, Jim. This one is not only going to be physical, but it's going to be intense. Trilogy needs to win badly. And the Killer Threes know, hey, look, we lost a crucial one last week.
By yourself, Shotty.
The three-headed monsters, they know they need a victory to get to 500.
Nick.
Anderson, pick and roll with Josh Powell.
Should have shot that one right there. See?
McCants missed the bunny.
Yep. Couldn't convert right there. Rashad McCants probably one of the easiest shots he's going to have all night.
Here's Anderson.
Red, let's go. Come on now.
Josh Powell joining the Killer Threes, especially with Chauncey Billups in a long-term IR. Harrington misses. Josh Powell the lay-in.
You know, I was real gentle right there, telling Oak to kind of move out the way a little bit so I could see.
Don't yell.
Yeah.
Don't yell.
Good D, stay down, stay down. Good D, stay down.
Could you please? McCants, good drive.
Again, let's go.
He said, feed me.
Need to stop. Need to stop.
Well, and that was, you know, last year, either one-on-one in the middle of the court where they can spread you out and then go one-on-one. The help is hard to come. Or they isolate a side, dribble drive, penetrate. Once you help, they have options on the perimeter.
Anderson misses that three. Steven Jackson.
Too many
He's
second
still
shots.
yet to put up a shot. Skip pass. Anderson, three. Yes.
There you go.
We're all tied up at 7. First team to 25, we go to the half.
It's interesting, too, you just said that Steven Jackson hasn't taken a shot. You know that he's very aggressive, but it looks like he's more methodical and trying to set his teammates up early, which may, in fact, set him up to get easier shots.
Cairns missed that three. Wide open.
By yourself.
Take it.
Get up.
Shoot it, Jack, shoot it.
Jackson. Yes.
There he is. But I like the patience and pace that
Rashad.
Steven is playing with right now.
Killing me right now.
You know, because he understands that he's going to get multiple shot opportunities, so you don't have to force anything.
Good D, good
Here's
D.
Harrington.
Stay down,
Working on Powell. Fades. Got it. Off the glass.
Shotty ain't even moving. Like, he's
Pick and
tired.
roll, Jack. How pick and roll, right
Is
here.
he tired?
We're tied up at 9.
How pick and roll, right here.
Need to
Jack,
stop.
go there.
Come on. By yourself.
Layup. No by Jackson. Here's Powell.
That second shot Powell had wide open, kind of fading back. Hence, you end up leaving it a little bit short. That one wasn't short that time by James White on the baseline.
Right here, pick and roll, go on.
Watch this, Shotty.
Come on, get up. Go hard.
2-point lead for Trilogy.
You gotta make it work.
Anderson. White wide open.
Come on.
Al Harrington to follow.
But when you move the ball quickly, after you rebounded on the defensive end and you got a quick shot, now it's tougher to get a body on somebody if you're the defense for Killer Threes. And Al Harrington able to sneak right in. And I'm going to use that word sneak lightly. That big body got inside to be able to get an offensive rebound and put it back in.
Harrington's got 7. Anderson. Powell. Thought he should have went up with that one.
He had the alley-oop right there. Now you take a layup, and now you got a tougher shot here.
Harrington came over to try to take the charge and call a blocking foul.
Oh, yeah, he ain't even moving.
Oh, you give up a layup here in regards to Powell not taking it. Now, Allen Anderson is off the drive, and Al Harrington just a little bit late. But I think you got to understand, too, when you have an opportunity to get a 2 inside, a quick basket, you got to take advantage of it, especially when your offense has been struggling. As we've seen at times for Killer Threes, you need all the easy looks that you can get.
Go.
Allen
Go,
Anderson
don't give it, go.
knocks down the free throw. Here's Derek Byers. Yes. Comes off the bench, delivers.
And I like this pickup here for...
Got traded from Threes Company.
Yeah, I think he provides you not only scoring, but he gives you a different energy offensively and defensively.
Good take by Anderson.
Yeah, that time defensively, he got beat to the baseline.
Jay White, take.
but he's a fresh body. I think that adds a little dimension to this team. Great pass.
Yeah. Buckets, Al Harrington.
Time out, time out, time out. We gotta talk.
Al Harrington's got 9 points.
We gotta come together. We can't switch.
Alan Anderson's got 9 for the killer threes. Charles Oakley wants to talk about it.
Shotty, I need you now.
Going to the court to check in with our guy, Michael Rappaport. The Rap Report. What's up, man?
All right, like I said before, I don't know if you heard me, I have unprecedented access to everything that's going on in this first game. And I got to say, I'm a little shocked by how things started with Meta getting kicked out of the game. These are some of the most combustible personalities that ever played in the NBA, and of course there's some of the most combustible personalities in the Big Three with Steven Jackson, Meta World Peace, Oakley, Rick Mahorn. Trilogy is a very antagonistic team, but I'm surprised. I feel like the Killer Threes are surprised about what happened with Meta, and in my opinion, yes, that's a technical foul, but to kick him out of the game, no pun intended, for kicking the ball, I'm a little shocked that it happened, and I'm shocked that Meta lost his cool so quickly in the game. But I gotta say, with my unprecedented access, I feel like the Killer Threes are now a little disoriented. Fellas?
No, it's red ball.
Unprecedented access. But that time you didn't provide us unprecedented access, Michael. No, you didn't give us access. You gave us insight.
Analysis.
Analysis, okay? And he got kicked out because he had 2 technical fouls. So that's why he got kicked out.
4-point lead for Trilogy. Oh, bringing Jackson to spin. No, Josh Powell the foul, and he's fouled by Al Harrington.
I'll go to the front of the rim. When the ball goes up, no one puts a body on Powell. He's able to get to the front of the rim. Offensive rebound. Didn't finish inside, but now he gets an opportunity. You see the beautiful spin move, and Powell comes in because of the help to get to the free throw line.
Told him
So here's Josh Powell shooting 1 for 2.
I want you to go
He
in
won
for Al.
a championship with the Lakers in 2009 and
Rebound.
2010.
You got to give it to him.
27 seasons in the NBA. 2-point lead now for Trilogy. Al Harrington spins. Baseline. No.
Ain't gonna give it to him.
Mike James. The drive. Left it short. Good cut. And laid up and in there by Derek Byers.
Yeah, that time.
Steven
Jackson kind of overplayed that pass in the corner, and smartly Byers went back door.
Give it to him.
Powell inside, left hand.
Play.
Again, first team to 25. We go to the half.
Stay down. Send the middle. Send the middle.
Harrington.
Send the middle.
Ball fake, drive. Strong move. Missed it though.
Come on.
And see, on that drive, Charles Oakley was up yelling to Powell, to Steven Jackson with the shot, sending to the middle. Because you do have a little bit more help to the middle. Al Harrington is able to go to the baseline. There's no one there to provide any kind of backline support.
1-point lead for the Killer Threes. Make that 2-point lead for Trilogy now.
Shotty. Get
Go, Mike. Go, Mike. You got it.
Harrington's got 12. Mike James knocks it down. Back and forth we go.
Yeah, I'm going to need that from Mike. You're going to need his outside shooting, his leadership from the point guard position, ability to stretch the defense.
Jab step. Harrington. Buckets.
Hey, 25. It's 25.
Trilogy goes into the half with a 3-point lead over the Killer Threes. The defending champions looking for their first victory.
No, I want my starters.
Al started the game off hot, ended this half with a 3-point shot, and they seem to be playing Trilogy with a better rhythm. Physical, but yet they're still fluid enough to get some points inside.
All right, let's go to the court. Here's Michael Rappaport.
All right, I'm down here on the court. Facebook Live, I'm taking any and all questions about basketball, about Detroit, about myself, about you, whatever you want to ask me. A couple of guys asked me, who would win one-on-one versus me and Brian Scalabrine? Are you kidding? Is that a joke? Let me tell you something, guys. Brian Scalabrine is a world champion basketball player. I am a world champion trash talker. There's nobody in this building that could beat Brian Scalabrine. Okay, there's nobody in this building that could beat anybody who played professional basketball, including Jimmy Jackson. The other question I got was, what does Derek Byers bring to Trilogy? Well, right now I think he brings some scoring, he brings some length, and I think he brings some energy. And Trilogy is playing the best they've ever played, but they have their work cut out for them, despite the fact that the Killer Threes lost Meta World Peace very early in the game. It's a good game, it's a tense game. Listen, if Trilogy loses, it's over for them. If they go 0-4, they're not making the playoffs. The Killer Threes need to win this game, so it's an important game with a bunch of competitive people going at it. I'm excited to be here. I love Detroit. I love the music of Detroit. I love the sports of Detroit. I love the city. It's great to be back here. Brian, Jack, what do you think about Detroit? So much musical history. Motown, hip-hop, Jay Dilla, Eminem, MC Breed, hip-hop, punk. They got it all from Detroit.
Oh, absolutely. And whatever genre of music you love, you got it here in the Motor City. And as you pointed out, hey, listen, your parents put on them old Motown records growing up. That's all you heard.
Hey, look, basement parties, barbecues in the backyard. If you didn't know about it, you quickly found out. But don't discount the basketball knowledge and love here in Detroit. That's why an event like this is, I think, special, because they appreciate hardcore, hardworking guys that go out there on the court and give it their all. So it's great to be here in Motown.
You know, every night, Facebook will be exclusive home to the first game of the Big Three. Next week, we are taking our talents to South Beach, Miami. It all comes your way next Friday, July 20th, live, 7 p.m. Eastern, only on Facebook. As Trilogy 0-3, the defending champions looking for their first victory. Killer Threes at 1-2. Al Harrington leading scorer, Jim, 15 points.
Well, I mean, doing it in a lot of different ways. You see the offensive rebound here. His ability to stretch the defense and knock down jump shots. He may not be the quickest, but he uses his size to get his shoulder and his feet by his opponent to be able to get to the basket. And when you have that combination of, you got a mid-range game with a long-range game with the ability to post up, it's really tough to stop.
6 of 11. Trilogy shot 55% in that first half. Here is Harrington with 4. Steps back. Short. Inside, Steven Jackson. Stripped. 3 on the shot clock. He'll have to pull. Derek Byers. That's what he brings to Trilogy.
Well, he does. But it was, again, the quick decision from James White to hit Byers before Steven Jackson can get back. See, those are the things that I think you tend to pick up the longer you play 3-on-3, is how to get the ball back, advance, and then get a quick shot up.
Lay down, get deep. Lay down, Jack.
Here's Byers again.
Hey, come on, give it to him. Let's go.
This is Steven Jackson working on Byers. In the lane, drives.
Take it up.
Josh Powell, the follow, and he's held by James White.
Well, good defense here by Byers. Contest a shot. Stack misses, but Josh Powell able to get inside. Smart foul right here by James White, not allowing Powell to kind of get the ball back up, and he fouled him before he was in the act of shooting, so his ball was taken on the side.
Go on. There you go.
Here's Jackson. He's got 5. Good dish to Powell.
A good dish for Powell. His first assignment is to set the pick. You set the pick, you can get yourself open. Always like being a screener at times, especially like this. You got an empty side. There's no help, and you can receive the ball just like Powell did for an easy layup.
Byers, the floater. Too strong.
White ball. White ball. Let's go.
Well, we talked about setting the pick. Bam, right there, put a body on. That time Derek Byers was up on Allen Anderson on the weak side and couldn't get down. So, well-executed play.
Harrington with the steal, misses the 3. Now Steven Jackson right. Quick inside to Allen Anderson. They're going to call Byers with the hold.
Let's take a look. Is it underneath?
That's 3-team foul.
Right. It's more of a reach foul. I don't know how much of a hold that was.
What about the timeout? 2 timeouts, 2-team foul.
Here's Anderson. The drive, no.
Stay down, get ready to help. Get over. Stay in the middle.
Harrington
There
lost
you go,
it.
right there.
Anderson picks it up. Too strong. Jackson
There you go.
follows up his own miss.
Stack just finding ways to score. Again, he got on the inside.
Jack, get your help, Jack. Get ready.
James White.
He's carrying the ball by yourself.
Byers,
Good
crossover.
D. Great D. Stay down.
Nearly stolen. Here's Harrington. He'll pull the four-pointer.
Come on. You gotta stop. Take it.
Here's Steven Jackson. No.
Stay down. See the ball, Jack. See the ball. Oh, sit down.
James
Stay
White.
down. Good D.
And Trilogy throws it away.
And that time James White got caught, picked up his dribble.
There's Mr. Former Piston himself, known as the baddest boy of them all. When he was on the Pistons, helped them win a championship in 1989. Here he is, here with Isaiah Thomas in '89, Rick Mahorn, him and Bill Lambier. Mahorn spent 18 years in the NBA.
Just play the game.
Washington, Detroit, Philly, and the Nets.
You know what's interesting too about Rick and that Detroit team? You always talk about how physical and nasty they were as a
Pick it up
group.
with the D. Let's go.
But you never talk about the high IQ that was on that team that allowed them to play a certain way but still maintain the poise and the discipline to win games. You know, and you don't talk about that a lot of times, but very smart players on that Piston team that knew how to play, knew time and score in situations.
And to your point, you know, one of the things Rick always talks about was guys, high IQ, and guys who knew and accepted their role.
Oh yeah. I mean, that's the first thing, because if you got a team that's talented, where guys understand exactly what they need to do when they get out there and play. Some guys are not scoring. That's a score right there. This is Steven Jackson, but Rick knew he was physical, rebounder. When he had a chance to score, that's what he did. He didn't try to play outside of that. You find that key component. See a nice little jump shot right there by Deion Glover. Really? A championship team. The unselfish nature, the guys accepting the role. And even the superstar, Brian, is a role player.
Allen Anderson for three.
Sit back, DB.
2-point lead for Trilogy. First team to 50, you got to win by 2.
Al, you tell me when you're ready. I'm finishing it off with you and
Get
DB.
ready, Allen. By yourself,
Gotta
Mike.
get
In the
James.
middle.
Are you kidding me? Not again.
Glover.
Let's go.
We bailing them
The
out.
jumper off of 1 foot.
There you go.
Here's the kick out, Mike James.
Yeah. Get ready. Get over to the nail. Move over some.
Here's Rashad McCants. Yes, for 3.
Let's go.
We need to stop, Shotty. Shotty, we need to stop. By
Let's see if
yourself.
McCann starts to get warmed up. Good crossover by Mike James. Bakes it off the glass.
Wow.
Come on, talk. Let's go.
Mike James right there. Not only the crossover,
Back though, Jack.
but he hasn't been
By
finishing
yourself,
well at the
Jack.
basket.
In
That
the
time he got a
middle.
little bit
In
more
the
bounce to
middle.
his step.
Middle.
Able to finish off the glass.
How about that? How about that pullback by Rashad McCants? Steven Jackson says, come on. And he'll pull from 3.
There you go, Mike. What
All
up?
right, Mike James.
That was Shotty rebound.
Mike James, the kick out.
All day.
Steven Action Jackson, still too strong.
Let's go.
Now look, give him a layup.
There you go. Jack, shoot the free throw.
Let's go back to that crossover. We missed the first part of it, but Deion Glover a little late, and Mike James eyeing them all the way.
Too many second
A little
shots.
scoop shot, softly,
What's wrong?
off the off the glass.
So Steven Jackson
DB, give him a chance.
go to the line,
Give me a
shooting
water.
1 for 2.
Give me a water, please. Thanks. Thank you, son.
14 seasons, won a championship with the Spurs. Had 14 last week for the Killer Threes. He's averaging 17 here in the Big Three. Jackson now with 9 points. And it is a 1-point lead for Trilogy. Josh Powell will check back in for the Killer Threes. Allen Anderson will get a break. Here's Rashad McCants. And they're going to call offense on McCants.
Well, the anticipation steps over. And actually, it's that left arm, that push off right there. Because it could have been kind of a no call, but that push off by McCants
By yourself, Shotty.
forced the official to call an offensive foul.
Here's the dish to Powell. And he tries to finish, but he'll go to the line.
Again, the pick and roll.
Shotty. Because we supposed to be
Empty corner.
It's either we switching.
And then the nice pocket pass. Deion Glover has to give respect to Stack in the corner. He's a three-point shooter, so he had to stay at home.
Let's go. Let's get some D.
Now they got the lead.
Right, let's go.
And the Killer Threes now
It's 4.
with a 1-point lead.
Hold it. Hold it. You just told me it was 3. But you don't count the offensive foul. And hey, listen.
That should be another foul.
Hey. But listen,
should
we
be
got
another foul.
5 fouls, and they have 0. It ain't like you look at that, something's wrong.
Come on, let's go.
And you can hear Rick Mahorn saying,
They can't
listen,
get rest. Tell them all the time.
why do we have 5 fouls and they have none?
They have 0 fouls. 0 fouls? You telling me that's...
You gotta get position.
Now watch the
Mike Rappaport,
By yourself, Glove.
what are you seeing? You're in the huddle.
I'm in the huddles with unprecedented access. Listen, I feel like the referees in any sport, you never walk away going, you know, that ref a great game. I don't care if it's hockey, boxing, basketball, and this is a different kind of basketball. It's almost like a new kind of basketball. It's 3-on-3. You have professionals. It's very physical. And listen, the reality is we don't want anybody to get kicked out of the game. We had our first kick out today, I think, of the entire history of the Big Three. But I wanted to ask you, Jack, what do you think of the refereeing? I mean, if you're a referee, it's kind of a rock and a hard place. You're never walking away going, like you'll say, LeBron played great, Steph played great, Reggie Jackson had 3 home runs. Oh, that referee, he was fantastic.
You ready? Go.
You know, it's true because I think your point, Mike, you make a great one. This is unconventional. They're still trying to figure out the rules, so even though it's the second year, their job is to monitor a lot of physical activity, which is tough because these guys love to play physical. So it's a give and take on their end on how they're going to allow and officiate the physicality, but it's not an easy gig, bro. And officials never can win.
He's working too hard down there. Without no
These
time.
officials get, I take my hat off to them, Brian. Fans go at him.
Hey, Mike.
Josh Powell going at the basket. Killer Threes, 1-point lead.
Go at him, Al, right now.
Here's Al Harrington, 10 on the shot clock, working Josh Powell. Backs him down, steps back. Yes, buckets.
You know, it's interesting, too. Al Harrington last year before the knee injuries, his step back was huge. But I think having those injuries affects his step back because there's so much pressure that he has to put on his knees. See Mike James shooting a tough contested shot. You don't have the spring that you had before the injury, and he's not shooting it as much.
You ready to go?
Here's Harrington trying to back down Mike James. James White. Flight 75 took off.
Sorry, Al.
He's fouled.
Yeah, and here's an example right here. Last year, this was money. He would just step back, and you see it right there.
Shooting, let's go.
Still shows the form, a little
Shoot
explosion, but we just don't see it as much. We got a steady diet of that last year, but again, I think it goes back to having a few of those injuries with the knees that prevents him to go to that move more times than not.
And James White spent 3 seasons in the NBA. He was Big 3 Defensive Player of the Year last season.
Oh, that's a tag. You don't? Well, why you don't tech him? Won't you tech him?
Lock out.
Won't you tech him?
Here's James
Thank
White.
you.
Here's a technical
Give him
on
another.
Steven Jackson, who's certainly been looking for fouls in this
No,
game.
you called him.
Yeah, but Rick Mahorn was right there the whole time in the official's ears. Like, just give him a tech. He's talking, give him a tech. On the 3rd or 4th time, he gave him a tech.
I'm doing anything I can, huh? Yes. Oh, you're doing a good job. What? I know, you did a good job. Oh, I can't sing it. Okay. You're so stupid.
James White will shoot the technical. And look at this. Last season, the Big 3, that was the best trash talker in the league. And it's one of the reasons why he's got tech.
Yeah, but I don't think at that moment, you got a game where you're down 4 points, okay? Now, you're down 5.
That's why I don't like y'all during the year. You
Trilogy
all of y'all are some pieces of
retains
shit.
the ball
Oh,
and can
I didn't
extend
say
the
that
lead
loud.
once again. So
Go right to him.
sometimes you got
Bring
to
it
pull
home.
back
Let's go
and
home.
understand time and score and where you're at in the game. And you don't want to pick up a technical foul in that situation.
Trilogy is 6 points away from their first win of the season. Step back from Harrington. You got to win by 2. Killer threes need to go to work. Josh Powell does.
We need to stop. We need to stop. Let's go.
5-point lead, Trilogy.
We just need 3 baskets. Let's go.
By yourself, Jack.
Here's Derek Byers.
Oh.
Oh, shakes. Good dish to James White. Derek Byers. Oh, don't hurt him.
My goodness, Hezzy, and then the pass. Now you think that trade is already paying off, but now the game is not over. Trilogy has a problem in the last few weeks. See Al Harrington finishing and closing the deal.
James White with the 3 of Derek Byers. Trilogy 1 point away from their first victory of the season.
One stop, Al. One stop. Let him score.
And keep in mind, Trilogy is doing this without really Sean McCants having the scoring impact on the game.
Al Harrington, drive, shot rejected. The kick out to James White. It's short.
By yourself. By yourself.
Anderson,
No foul.
and he throws it away.
The double team came in. Powell should have came over just a little bit more to the left because really Allen Anderson didn't have a passing angle. Should have maybe held on to it a little bit more to Powell so he can clear some space.
Here's the big one here, Jim.
Well, Derek Byers, listen, he's played well thus far, giving this Trilogy team the boost that is needed, and why not get to the corner and knock down a big-time three-point shot to put your team in a position to win the game.
Let's go on the court to Mike Rappaport.
All right, this is a great game. I got a Facebook question. Guy asked me, would Tim Duncan work well in the Big 3? Let me tell you something. Tim Duncan will work good in the Big 3, the Big 4, the Big 17, the Big 18, and the Big 19. Somebody like that, his game translates to anything. I'm sure he could probably play Big 3 ping pong, Big 3 basketball, Big 3 lacrosse. Guys, will Tim Duncan work in the Big 3?
Well, there's a reason why his nickname was the Big Fundamental.
That's right. He worked good on the Big 3 swim team, too.
Yeah, you're right. And was a phenomenal swimmer.
Yeah. But, you know, we would, of course, selfishly, we would love to have those guys participate in this because it would just add so much value. But
here's Byers. He's been the spark plug, and he wins it for Trilogy. They get their first victory of the season.
added value. Are you giving something to your team? And Derek Byers not only gave the energy, he gave the defensive prowess, but he provided this team with an offensive spark that they were lacking in the last 3 weeks. And this may be, if Trilogy goes on a run, maybe the trade of the year by Trilogy.
What a game for Derek Byers, who was traded from Three's Company, and he comes in and gives them a lift for Trilogy. Scores in double figures, and Trilogy gets their first victory of the season, a 52-39 victory over the Killer Threes. We are just getting things started. Join us on FS1 at the top of the hour for the Big Three on FS1.